Like a wise woman called Barbie once said, you can be anything.
What you are essentially saying is that you can change your race, and you can't change your race. I'm Korean, people need to accept that.
He waving and I'm drunk.
Like the laws of gravity, there are certain rules that persist in this universe, such as the first law of thermodynamics. A body at uniform motion will remain in its original state until and unless if an external force is applied to it. The McDonald's ice cream machine is never functioning. All the people who subscribe to this channel are intelligent and sophisticated. And you, yes you darling, can change your race anytime, any place.
Everybody looking at me, but
Wow, what a time to be alive. I'm just so blessed that being Asian is trending amongst these TikTok users and the RCTA community. Comes next fall when another race trends. Guess I'll just have to color or bleach my skin and listen to 100 subliminals a day. And so let us talk about this new but not so new trend on the internet. What is the race change to another or ethnicity change to another community? The difference between culture appreciation and fetishization? And is race changeable, like gender?
I'm just living my truth. I'm doing what makes me happy.
What is RCTA? RCTA stands for race change to another, which means ethnicity change to another. The current wave of RCTA identifying people are mainly focused on quote-unquote transitioning into East Asian ethnicities due to their love for anime, K-pop, or K-dramas. One of the most recognizable transracial people is Ollie London, a British influencer who underwent multiple plastic surgeries to look like BTS singer Jimin and previously identified as a Korean woman using they/them pronouns before transitioning back to a British man. The hype around race changing, trends from TikTok to Discord chats to subliminals on YouTube, it has over 11.7 billion views on TikTok, and not surprisingly, most of the people actively participating in the race change activity are very young in their teenage years. To give you a better idea of what the fervent for race change looks like, I'll read you a few of these posts. Hi, my name is Lily. I'm American, going Korean. I haven't been feeling connected to American culture recently, but Korean instead. Dead name, Lily. Current name, Isu. Race, Korean, brackets, not American. Help me through my guide of turning Korean. Thank you. My immediate question is, if you have a guide, why do you need help? And I don't know if I just can't English properly, but some of these comments are really confounding. Delulu for DD said, "Oh, I'm RCTA too. I used to be team Umizumi, now I'm Paw Patrol." Quote, "I'm RCTA too. I used to be a Samsung washing machine. Now I'm Pax/Forsan wardrobe combination." Quote, "As you guys know, I'm transracial, which means I'm changing my race. Before, I was 100% American. Now I'm 25% Japanese, 40% Korean, and 35% Chinese. I'm coming out to my parents tomorrow in text. Brackets, wish me good luck. Good luck." This is race changing to a whole new level because usually people just pick, one to change to, but if you're special, you can pick and choose your percentage. Just like how Nathan in the comments is saying he's Elon Musk, but 20% Drake and 50% DaBaby plus Darth Vader and Naruto. Quote, "I'm a new RCTA account. I'm also a K-pop stan, bracket, exclamation mark, and a shifter, bracket, exclamation mark. I'm white to black, bracket, exclamation mark." That is right, kids. In this new age of self-definition, you can truly be anything. You can claim other people's faces and bodies, a totally normal and healthy thing to do.
I don't care. You are you, I'm me.
And you can easily achieve this by listening to subliminals that alter your DNA. Psst, very powerful. Almost as powerful as reading, which helps expand our worldviews and explore new perspectives. So thank you to your sponsor, Book of the Month, for making reading fun. As you guys know, I'm always on the hunt for good books to inspire new video topics. And Book of the Month helps introduce new and rising authors while also having big name titles. Each month, members can choose to get a hardcover. Hardcover books just makes reading feel so luxurious in a way. I don't know how to describe it. Or an audiobook from a new exciting selection and can add backlist books to their box at a discount. This month, I picked This Spells Love by Kate Robb and The River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. It's a much cheaper option for reading, and I do love that there is a community aspect where members can participate in challenges, rate, and comment on books. For a limited time, you can join and get your first book of the month for $9.99 with code GOBBLE. Shipping is always free. Quote, stop calling it fetishization. Media experts point to the potential dark side of the exoticization of Asian culture, saying it could be a form of modern yellow face. Seeing in how a lot of non-Asian people are making their appearance more quote-unquote Asian-like, keeping up with the progress of making their monoliths through subliminals. Yet, many members of the race change community claim that it has nothing to do with fetishization. Fetishization by the Cambridge Dictionary is defined as an unreasonable amount of importance that is given to something or an unreasonable interest in something, which makes it tricky when evaluating the race change community. To what extent is their desire to change your race reasonable? To what extent is it reasonable to want to look like someone so much to look at their face and body all day and listen to subliminal music? This now gets into a murky area because it's very hard to make a comment about other people's intentions, for they themselves will be the only people who know their true intentions. From my view, a high number of people in the RCTA community want to change their race because they are extremely enthusiastic about a specific race or culture.
I went to Korea and had the most incredible experience of my life. It changed me, gave me happiness, and people have no right to take that happiness away from me.
They might have been introduced to K-pop, anime, or Asian food, and it's great that they want to celebrate that culture if they pick up certain makeup, fashion, or even lifestyle of the culture, but in a respectful manner. The degree to which people have taken this is a little concerning in my view. First, when they are claiming their new race and completely discarding their current race, they're ultimately putting one down in order to get closer to another. When people say they thought I was Korean when I'm Chinese, and then they say something like, oh, you should take that as a compliment. Sorry, but I feel great being Chinese. And calling your name a gift from your family as your quote-unquote dead name is so disheartening. Second, the whole face claiming and body claiming thing in this community is just creepy to me. I think it's totally okay to look up to someone for inspiration of styles, for aesthetics, for fitness levels, and so on. But imagine someone coming up to you and be like, hey, I like your face, so I would claim it and change my identity to yours from this day forward. And you have no say in it. It just feels intrusive and not flattering in any sort of way. Almost feels like if you wear your favorite signature jacket to school or work one day, and then Sally over there stares at you all day long. Then the next day she shows up in that exact same jacket and tells everyone that she changed her last name to yours. She tries to walk and talk like you. That's just freaking creepy, okay? Imitation isn't exactly flattery. Changing your makeup, your hair, your style, or even your face is one thing, but can you really pick and choose your race? And with that, we need to first dive into what is race.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I don't think I would change it, not gonna lie.
What is race? Per the Britannica, race is the idea that the human species is divided into distinct groups on the basis of inherited physical and behavioral differences. Genetic studies in the late 20th century refuted the existence of biogenetically distinct races, and scholars now argue that races are cultural interventions reflecting specific attitudes and beliefs that were imposed on different populations. It's truly fascinating how the definition of race is gradually evolving with the social and cultural landscape. And if race is defined as something not purely biological, is it changeable like gender?
I identify as Korean. I used to live in Korea. I was living there for 1 year. I love the culture, I love the history, the people. You know, I've put myself through a lot of pain. I've had a lot of surgical procedures to have more of a Korean aesthetic. I spent a lot of time learning the language, learning how to cook Korean foods. I came out earlier this year showing that with the world. People didn't really get it. Not everybody will understand straight away, but I hope over time people will be kind of more accepting with me.
Is transracial comparable to transgender? When considering whether to revise rules for classifications of gender and race, there are important considerations both at the individual level and at the population level. It is crucial to value a person's autonomy and respect their identifications, but that in a social environment is weighted against the population level effects of revising classifications. And from that, I think there are two layers to the race identity, a personal and social layer. On a personal level, we do have the autonomy to identify as whatever we want. But at the end of the day, is that identity also reflected on the social level? Currently, not saying that things won't change, but on a broader scale, mainstream Western media culture is saying no.
I can't sit up here and say, oh, I'm suddenly a white woman. And if you as a white person say, oh, I can be black or I can be Korean, and I can't swap and benefit from the privilege that you benefit from, then it's clearly not an equal exchange.
Race is a very sensitive topic in today's culture because of all the history around the different power dynamics, privileges, and unique struggles. And unfortunately, some of the prejudices and scars from that history still exist in our modern world today. For instance, would a swap be as valid if someone white calls themselves a minority versus if a person of color suddenly claims himself as white? I do not have the answer to any of these, and my brain is very fried right now thinking about all the layers of potential nuances. But I am a little shocked by how race changing is becoming a trend on the internet, and hope that this does not mean diversity becomes a joke, and that the richness of different cultures doesn't get disrespected for a fad or a wave of fetishization. So what do you think about the race change community? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you always. If you're new to the channel, I make a lot of commentaries and growth related videos. Check them out, and I will see you next week.